Hi, in this video you'll be learning about Boolean blocks and how it's utilized as I guide you through the instructions for this week's Scratch project. Boolean blocks are located in the operators category colored in green. These interesting looking blocks are shaped in a hexagon and will tell the Scratch project what to do under certain conditions. If the conditions we give are true, the program will activate or work. If the conditions we give are false, the program will not work. Let's give an example. If you finish your steak and your broccoli for dinner, then you will have ice cream for dessert. Notice I emphasize the word and. That's because if you ate your broccoli but not your steak, you will not get ice cream. If you ate your steak but not your broccoli, you will also not get ice cream. You can only get ice cream if you eat both things on your plate. Pause the video and answer true or false for numbers 1, 2, and 3. 1 and 2 are false, because only eating one of the two foods will not give us ice cream. But 3 is true, because if you finish both, you will. How about this conditional statement? If you finish your steak or your broccoli for dinner, then you will have ice cream for dessert. Pause and answer true or false. Or is the key word here. That means you can eat just the steak, or maybe you only want to eat the broccoli. Either way, you will still get ice cream for eating one of them. True or false statements are important for Scratch projects. If Scratch identifies a true statement, it can activate a program that will affect our project. If Scratch identifies a false statement, it cannot activate, thus nothing will happen. Take a look here. If the spacebar is pressed, then we will see a message that says jump. So tell me, is the spacebar being pressed? True. That means the message will appear in the project. How about here? It seems that the spacebar is not being pressed, so the statement is false, and thus we have no message that appears. Let's try this game out. Notice an empty space where a card should be. Our goal for this activity is to be able to move the card 3 sprite into the remaining slot after moving the other 2. In order to do that, we must understand how the game works. Keep in mind when I reference positions 1, 2, and 3, I mean the left, middle, and right, respectively. If I looked at the script editor for the card 2 sprite, I can see that it's already been assigned position 3 if the program were to randomly generate the numbers 2 and 5. If I go to the script editor for the card 1 sprite, I can also see that it's been assigned position 3 if the program randomly generates the numbers 4 and 6. But notice in the script editor for the card 3 sprite, there is no position or number assigned. This is the reason why we are seeing an empty slot when running the game. I've created a chart to help us see the information a little better. This column right here will help indicate which card will go to position 3 when one of these 6 numbers are randomly generated by the program. Again, we see that card 2 will go to position 3 if it is randomly generated the numbers 2 and 5. Or if the Scratch program randomly generates the numbers 4 and 6, then card 1 will go to position 3. Let's think about card 3 now. Since 1 and 3 are the only numbers left, it's best to assume that card 3 should go to position 3 when the Scratch project randomly generates the numbers 1 and 3. Back at the script editor for the card 3 sprite, we see a few Boolean blocks laid out for us to drag inside our control block. The first one that we're going to pay attention to is the if-then control block. Dragging up a little bit, we'll see 2 Boolean blocks that are important, the and the or. In this situation, we will choose the or Boolean because we want the program to accept either of the 2 numbers. That means that card 3 will move to position 3 if either one of these values are true. The Boolean block being inserted is giving the condition that the luck variable, or the random generated number, must equal 3 or 1. Okay, we have the values for our card 3 sprite, but what about the positions? If you go down a little bit, here again we see our X position equals position 3, and you're going to drag that inside the repeat until control block. Awesome, and that's it. You're done with activity 1. Good job. Not only do we, for the script editor for card 2 sprite, not only do we see it assigned 2 values for position 3, but it's also assigned 2 values for position 1. The same can be seen in the text editor for the card 1 sprite. If the random number generator were to pick 4 or 6, the card 1 will be assigned position 3. If the random number generator were to choose 1 or 2, the card 1 sprite will be assigned position 1. Based off of this information, what 2 numbers should card 3 be assigned so that it can move to position 1? 5 and 6. Yes, very good. Back at the card 3 script editor, we're going to do what we did last time, dragging a Boolean block into the control block, and then also dragging these variables inside as well. Remember, the values that we had figured out or deduced together are 5 and 6. Last but not least, after inputting our values, we now need to input our position. Your final product should look something like this. Congratulations! You have just learned a little bit about Booleans and completed activities 1 and 2 for this week's Scratch project. Happy scratching!